Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This is more maintenance on my VW PASSAT. Today's the oil change video, so it's pretty easy. I'm not sure how much they charge at VW, but I assume it's well over $100 Canadian, since it's synthetic that you put in these cars. So here we go. We got the car up on the lift there. 2014 PASSAT TDI. Some of the stuff you'll need are impact wrench, makes it easier taking the screws out of the bottom. T25 Torks, T40 Torks for the bolts at the bottom too, and a T30 Torks. 33mm socket, an extension. Your oil, I'm going with 0.40 because it gets really cold here in the winter in Alberta, so make it a little bit easier when it starts. I'll go with the Wix filter. Never had an issue with them, so that's what I go with every time. It's about 14-15 bucks. Oil $29.99 on sale, Walmart. Cheap stuff, good stuff though. So yeah, let's get to it. First thing you do, there's a screw here. Take that out so you can access the oil filter. What I do is just put the screw back in so you don't lose it. And your oil filter housing is down right in there. And that's your 33mm socket. So you loosen that up. That's what I do first, is loosen that up. The oil won't come out, so just make sure it's loose, so you get that loose, and then you hit the bottom. There's all kinds of screws at the bottom here. All along here, bolts at the back, and screws on this side. So I'll get to taking those out. Okay, got the plastic shield underneath off. The 3 bolts at the back, those are the 40 Torx 40 bits. Forgot to mention you need a 19mm socket for the oil drain plug. You just loosen that up. If you want to wear gloves at this point, I would highly recommend it. Loosen the plug up. I've driven the car so it's up to operating temperature. Highly suggest doing that as well. Try not to burn yourself on the oil. It is quite hot coming out. That's where your paper towels come into play, is grab them and you're set. Just let it drain for however long it takes to drain. Alright, so next we take the oil filter out. What I do, I just use the old one, put some paper towels in the bottom of it to dispose it. It's already loose, so just keep giving her until it comes off. It's kind of in a shitty spot, and you might get oil all over. This is the first time I'm doing an oil change on this car. The Jettas looks like they're a little bit easier to get to. Okay, got the filter out. It's way down in there. It's kind of a pain in the ass to get it out. But what I tend to do next is clean all the crap out of there or get as much of the old oil as you can out so it's clean. You know, it's not a necessary step that you have to take, but I tend to do it. So yeah, that'll be the next step. Okay, got most of the old oil out, old dirty stuff in there. Just an extra step I take to clean it out. Don't want to put fresh oil in and have all the dirty shit circling around again. So next step, put the oil drain plug back in, which is at the bottom of the engine obviously, so let's go do that now. Make sure you clean it off. That's a 19 mil. It's completely done draining. Give it a little clean off. Still might drip a little bit, that's okay. Okay. Wipe the excess oil off that dripped out before you got it on there. And just snug it down. You don't go reefing the shite out of it. That's good. Just make sure it's on there. Okay, and then we'll go back up, put the oil filter back on. Put some oil in it, start it up, make sure it's not leaking anywhere. Alright guys, we're back here again a couple days later. I picked up the wrong oil filter, or they gave me the wrong oil filter at the auto parts place I got. So this is the actual number for the 2014 Passat TDI. The other one's wrong. This one's a canister one that drops on top. Comes with 3 rubber O-rings. So now we're just gonna take off the O-rings on here with the little pick and then lube them back up and put the filter back on and tighten it down. Okay, got that all oiled up. Make sure your O-rings have the new oil. Just use your new oil that you have. You just try to wiggle it back down into where it came from. It's kind of a pain to get out of. Make sure it's all lined up. And tighten it first. First few threads. Grab your 33 mil socket again. Tighten her down. Don't go reefing on it. Just snug. Snug's good. I don't know what the torque spec on it is, but just don't over tighten it. Take your little screw here, push it back over. This is being a pain, but should normally just screw back in. But get yourself a funnel. Make sure it's clean on the inside, and then just start pouring your oil and checking with your dipstick here how much you got in there. Okay, once you got it all the oil poured in, it's already poured in, not all of it. Let the car run for a little bit. We'll do that, see, make sure it doesn't have any oil leaks anywhere from the filter or underneath or anything. So let's do that now. Mine has the push button start, so basically you just reverse the process with the skid plate on the bottom. Make sure you get all the screws all in there to your T25 and T40 Torks. Let it run for a little bit. Okay, as to reset the service oil change reminder, you press the ignition. Mine has the push button start, so it's a little bit harder than I thought. Hold that down, press the ignition, and then the service thing comes up. It says, do you really want to reset this oil service change? Hit the OK button, and then it should be reset. That's pretty easy. So that's just how you reset your service oil change reminder.